You'd have to meet him to understand that a part of his soul died years ago.
And decide.
He was extremely cooperative in talking about the most personal, sensitive kinds of details. And I felt it was a joint exploration to try to understand how he got to that point in his life.
He learned in growing up how different he was from others in his sexual makeup. Imagine being a youngster discovering that you're having recurrent thoughts about relating in an intimate way to corpses.
A poor kid at 14, 15 wanting to make love to dead bodies, and that would be sexually exciting. I mean, who in the world would you tell that to?
Jeffrey Dahmer did tell Dr. Dietz in graphic detail.
The best we could figure out as to how eventually some of the gross kinds of images that happen with mutilation of a human corpse could become sexy to him were his thinking about dissection of animals while masturbating as an adolescent. He had done high school biology class dissections and also had collected some dead animals from the woods and kept their body parts. Now, most kids who would have those experiences don't think about that as they masturbate. They instead think about a cute human. So that's a mistake. And a public service message would be, don't think about roadkill as you masturbate.
Joyce Dahmer talks to her son on the phone once a week. He is depressed, she says, but fills his time cleaning the prison gymnasium and writing letters on his new typewriter. But as a certified counselor herself, one thing bothers Joyce, and it is this. Jeffrey Dahmer gets no therapy. He sees no psychiatrists, and no one comes in to study him in an effort to find out what motivated this most infamous killer.
Something needs to be learned from this, and I think Jeff is intelligent enough that if he gets some help, he might be able to help people. I'm not talking about that Jeff will ever be out of prison again. He won't, no matter what he finds out about himself. But I think he has a right as a human being. He's not a monster, he's a human being. And I think he deserves some help.
If those families are watching this now on television, is there anything you want to say to them, either from you or on Jeff's behalf?
Well, I'm extremely, very, very sorry that it happened to their loved ones. And if I could have done anything to prevent it, I would have. And I would ask them to forgive Jeff for what he did. He's paid the price, I believe, now.
I had two thoughts. I wished I could take his place because he was so young and had thrown away a life. And I frankly wished I could put him down like you do a sick animal.
And not once did Dahmer tell anyone that he felt driven to kill. Instead, he said, I hated to kill them.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I am prepared for your sentence, which I know will be the maximum. I ask for no consideration.
2 years after his sentence began, Jeffrey Dahmer was killed in prison.
I was sad to learn that Dahmer had been murdered. Maybe his dad and I were the only ones who were sad, but I was. And it's not the right way to go. The man had been sentenced to prison. He hadn't been sentenced to death. I give people a lot of credit when they come forth with the whole truth about what they've done and when they take responsibility, and he did. He stood up like a man about what had happened. Wasn't weaseling and explaining and denying.